This is Flow, and it's an animated film that tells the story of a nameless black cat as it searches for a way to survive after their home is destroyed by a massive flood. When the cat finds refuge on a boat, they are forced to befriend other animals who are also looking to find a way forward. Now, what's particularly unique about this movie is that there is no dialogue. These are not anthropomorphic animals or hyper-intelligent animals. They're meant to represent species that we know in our own world. In many ways, this is a continuation of realism in animation that was most famously explored in Bambi. You see, the animals in Flow react and move like real animals, which means that the majority of the storytelling is told through visual elements. The black cat may meow and purr at times, and the environment is filled with noises and music, but these characters live only because of the subtlety of their movements and how they interact with the world around them. And I have to say that the animators of this film absolutely pulled it off, and that is an accomplishment that should be celebrated. Beyond the novelty of how the story is told though, it's the development of these lonely misfit animals and the way they learn to get along that is the highlight for me. I appreciated the characterization of the black cat and their new animal companions. Personally, the bird was my favorite, and I felt like I was able to understand many of their personalities as they interacted with one another throughout the film. For many of the characters, I liked how we got to see their mindsets evolve over time, which all culminates in the climax of the film. I'm also sure through multiple viewings, there's more depth to be explored within these characters and their world. There were plenty of storytelling elements interwoven into small moments in the objects, sets, and backgrounds that I'm sure I missed. But I don't think this is a film that I can easily recommend. While there were extremely compelling sequences that had me on the edge of my seat, in between these conflicts and the many gorgeous set pieces we see, I didn't necessarily know where the narrative was headed, and this left me feeling disengaged. There were lengths of time where I struggled to stay connected to the material, and towards the end of the film, I felt like there were moments that I just didn't understand when the story crossed into the mystical. When the film abandons the realism of a not-so-distant future for surreal visuals that are open to interpretation, I was lost. I just don't feel like these moments supported the narrative that was being told. I mainly found them off-putting and disorienting, and while I liked how the character arcs came together for the animals at the end of the story, I actually didn't feel satisfied with how the story concluded. You see, Flow is a film that demanded my complete attention, so when the story didn't resolve with complete clarity, I was left feeling frustrated. The animals absolutely developed sufficiently for the purpose of the story told in Flow, but it was very clear by the end that they would all need to face more obstacles ahead. Maybe though, my discontent speaks to how connected I was to these animals. While I didn't love the pacing of this film and how it at times struggled to engage me, I also didn't want the story of these animals to end when it did. I appreciate how Flow explores a new story about animals and our world in animation, while I found Flow to be a difficult watch. Seeing the legacy and tradition of animation be expanded was wonderful, and I'm glad I got the chance to have a completely new experience with this art form I love. I give Flow 3.5 stars, and finally, I'm Isaac Carlson. Thank you for watching, and remember to continue to find the magic in movies.